I want to talk, obviously, of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and that kind of thing, but I do want to get the read on this from Charlie Gasparino, as well as Tim Rood, the former Fannie Mae executive. But Charlie, to you, and now going after Facebook on housing, I mean, this could get very messy.
Listen, going after social media is a bipartisan, I guess, is good for both parties. I mean, the Elizabeth Warren types are going to go after him on the privacy side. Trump and the administration is going to go after him on different issues. You know, this is kind of like right in Ben Carson's wheelhouse. I mean, you have to realize, on the right, people really believe that these companies like Facebook, are discriminating against conservative voices. So any way you can go at them, they want it to be done. So that's why he's doing this, in my view. On the left, it's the privacy stuff. So you're going to see that. You're going to see that happen. And if you own these stocks, I mean, one of the things you have to put into the equation of owning these stocks is political risk. The powers that be on both sides, both the Trump people
it's definitely
and the left,
season,
they want to get them.
I do want to move on, Tim Rood, if you'll help me. As a former Fannie Mae executive, and now these latest efforts to take Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac out of conservatorship, get them running again. The devil's in the details, of course. So where do you think this is going?
Hi, Neil. Hey, Charles. I think it's going in the right direction. Hopefully this is an earnest step forward towards getting Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac out of conservatorship. I mean, this is an 11-year timeout. I think it's about due time. Well, essentially what the president has done is given a directive to the Treasury Department to come up with a plan to get them out of conservatorship and to invite competition. It's a kind of a nuanced topic, to say the least. I mean, you have to deal with how to build capital, how to get the Treasury out, settle lawsuits. There's multi-billion-dollar lawsuits out there. And then you need to basically clear the deck for Congress to do a long-term plan.
But they dodged any big punishment after the meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, the government essentially took them over and put them in conservatorship. Listen, I think you got to go back to what Fannie and Freddie does. They are involved in a business that no real private business wants to do. That make sure that working class people can get 30-year mortgages. Okay, so now remember that. That's what they do. They're public companies.
They don't do 15-year? They don't?
No, not really. I mean, they might do some. What they do is they buy the mortgages from the banks. So in doing that, creating that liquidity and then packaging them and selling them, it allows banks to make 30-year mortgages to people that probably wouldn't get them otherwise. So you have to ask
they're more viable entities than these people who are selling mortgage-backed securities.
So, but here's the thing you got to ask yourself. How, from a public policy standpoint, is it good to have two companies that are publicly traded, they're profit-oriented companies that have this sort of government, sort of welfare state mission? And that's what got them in trouble the last time. And I know what Tim's going to say. Make them like utilities. Make them like Con Ed, where there's so much, they have to hold so much capital and all this other stuff. Just remember, that was the initial case for making Fannie and Freddie. They were like utilities. But then activists get involved. Henry Cisneros, Andrew Cuomo, forcing Fannie and Freddie to essentially expand home ownership to the world, and that helped cause the financial crisis. There's no doubt about it. So I don't know how you have...
Do we even need them, Tim? Do we...
Mark Calabria, who's the new FA chief, said we don't need them.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Tim? I mean, what would the world be like without them?
I think Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac would be perfectly happy getting the government out of their pocket and being released as private companies.
No government guarantee, right? We don't back up their bonds?
Think about that.
Who would buy their bonds?
Well, think about this. So 4 years ago, one of the billionaire investors in Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, who's got a lawsuit right there, said, you know what, enough already. I'll give you $50 billion for these companies. I don't want your guarantee. Just give me the enterprises. And the government's position was, you know what, if smart money's willing to buy, we're not willing to sell.
Been out of business.
So it didn't even take a meeting.
By the way, who's going to buy the bonds of a company that runs a business that no one else will run? No one. Who's going to?
But does housing need it? Do you think housing needs it?
Well, that's a whole other story.
It's instrumental to the future and the strength of housing in this country, particularly now with it hiccuping of late.
Well, here's the issue is, of course, is that, there is plenty of competition. There was tons of competition for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac leading up to the housing crisis. There was 40% of the market was private capital. Now that the government has taken them over, has juiced their credit fees twice, basically doubled the credit fees, yet there's no competition. You're looking at basically it's a red herring. The issue is not government, it's
all right. Hang on
Dodd-Frank Act.
Charlie and Tim, thank you both. See, I brought Charlie speaking because of the commercial break. I love that.